My next question has to do with the Federalist Party. How is that going right now,
well,
as far as members?
Well, first of all, the Federalist Party is something separate from the Pan-European Union. It has no legal links with it. It has no institutional links at all. It's another project. It's another project.
But with the same, with similar vision, though.
It's a European project also, but it's not something that has come out of PanEuropa's think tank. It's not a Pan-European think tank idea. You see, federalism in France is almost a rude word, because for the French, the French Republic is one and undivisible. And Paris, the capital city, is the only serious city in France. The rest of France is a desert for the French politicians. And during the French Revolution, some people, because this is a tradition since the kings of France, that's how the kings of France have built France. And since the French Revolution, it has been even more so, because there was a political party in France called the Girondins, who were for a relative responsibility of the provinces, but they were executed, physically executed, by the Jacobin party. And since then, France has always been ruled by Jacobin. All the French politicians, be they Gaullists. General de Gaulle was a Jacobin. But he tried even him in 1969. General de Gaulle offered, in a referendum, offered the possibility for the French Republic to favor the regions of France and give some responsibilities to the regions. And the French people said no to this referendum. They said no. So France is a very compact state, and France does not even recognize the different nationalities within France. There are several nationalities here, for instance. There are Alsatian nationals. The Alsatian people consider themselves as a people, which is respectable. So do the people in Brittany, in the Provence, in the southeast of France, in Gascogne, in Languedoc, in Corsica. In Corsica. But the French Republic doesn't like to recognize that. They have very recently recognized a certain Corsican people under many conditions. They've given some liberties, some political liberties to the Corsicans, excuse me, and but not to the Alsatians. They've refused. The Alsatians have been asking for a certain autonomy for years, but Jacobins in Paris have refused from all the parties, from the the right wing or the left wing, extreme right, extreme left, or moderate right, moderate left, they all refuse. They're all done. But the countries around France are not built in the same way. Germany is a federation of Länder, of provinces. Even Italy. Italy is also a federation of different regions. In Spain, they're a little bit more like the French. The United Kingdom has several nationalities. They have the English, they have the Scots, they have the Welsh, and they have the Irish nationalities. But the British have accepted last year a referendum on the Scottish independence. They were enough of a good sports to let this referendum decide. Finally, the Scots decided not to make their Brexit from the United Kingdom, and they stayed with it. But this was a very democratic attitude from the United Kingdom. France refuses to behave like that. So this is why I'm telling you, federalism is something considered rude in France. But the other nations around France are quite ready to federalism because they've always realized that within their own countries. And I would even say that Russia, the Russian Federation is a federation, and even before it was called the Russian Federation after the glasnost of Mr. Gorbachev, even when it was the Soviet Union, a Soviet citizen would be a citizen of the Soviet Union on his passport, but he would be of Russian nationality, or of Georgian nationality, or of Ukrainian nationality, or other nationalities within the Soviet Union. The nationalities were recognized as such, which is not the case in France. And to answer your question, why did I choose to participate in this federalist adventure in France? It's not because I'm a masochist or desperate, but because I would like to participate modestly, at my modest level, to the gentle education of the French people to the idea of federalism. Of course, I realize that I have no chance to be elected, and I have very few chances to have members of my party elected before quite a few years. But we've been working since 1911 to communicate. We have created this small political party, which is recognized officially, and we have even helped create other parties. And for instance, for the European Parliament election in 2014, 4 years ago, we had 16. We had our party represented in 16 of 28 member countries. So, little by little, we are progressing. And we are going to run for next year's election at the European Parliament. I don't think, sincerely, I shouldn't say that because I'm the president of the branch in Alsace, and we'll have our list, we'll have our candidates, but we have very little chance to succeed. But we will go forward and transmit this idea. You know, in France, the political party, take the Front National Party. For the first 15 years of existence of this Front National Party, they wouldn't make more than 2.5%. Then, after 15 years of existence, which we don't have because we have created our party in, 7 years ago. After 15 years, the Front National managed to have over 5%, which is the minimum percentage to be reimbursed of your campaign expenses, which are very much regulated in France. You may not spend more than a certain amount of money. You must justify where the money comes from, etc., etc., etc. But if you want to be reimbursed of what you have put on the table, you must make 5%. So the Front National only managed to do that after 15 years of existence. You've seen the score they've made 4 years ago at the European Parliament. It was a score that stunned everybody, not only in France, but also in Europe. So, little by little, we will push forward our idea of federalism, and today, in France, today, there is a man who who's now planning to use our platform of 2014 for his own party next year, and this is President Emmanuel Macron. I was very surprised 6 months ago, or maybe more than 6 months ago, to read the draft, the project of his platform for next year's elections to the European Parliament. And it was almost verbatim the platform of my party 4 years ago. So I think that our pedagogic is working slowly by slowly. Maybe we will not be elected, but maybe on this platform some members of Mr. Macron's party, En Marche, will be elected, and well, good luck to them. If they can federate Europe, we will be very happy. If we can do it better than them, I would prefer. But I'm not sure that we have the means to do it today.
Well, tell me if I'm correct. The way I understand it is there's many federalist groups throughout the European Union, and what your group specifically did was create the first transnational party that would go across the European Union. So actually, even though that may be small, it's huge, and it sounds like it was perfect, or is perfect, for the time, because the Federalists have been around for a long time. They have a voice within the European Union through the different groups, and it sounds as if the timing is really perfect for this.